Today we're going to talk about savvy drivers, young drivers education. Let's go ahead and get it. I want to welcome you in. I think as we evolve in our driving, we need to remember our principles. You need to remember what your driving instructor taught you. You need to remember what you learned through your driver's education program. You also need to understand the importance of your final road skills assessment. I'm going to go through some of these elements and help you understand why you need to apply this and why you passed or failed. FAILED. If you're driving with your parent and your mom or dad freak out and grab the wheel, or they're grabbing for the invisible seatbelt, you're driving too fast. Your mom and dad or your caregivers will give you that nonverbal scare, meaning they'll jump. You want to make sure you're driving in such a way that your mom and dad feel safe, feel loved, and feel cared about. That is so important. You have to show them that you're mature. Maturity comes in many different ways. Just because you drive doesn't mean you're mature. You could be immature in the way you drive. You want to show your parents, your caregiver, and your friends that you are respecting the law. If the speed limit is 35, you need to be driving at 35. If the speed limit is 70, you need to be driving at 70. Driving at the speed limit does several things. It allows you not to hold up the flow of the traffic, and it allows you to be successful and understand and see danger. A danger could be someone tapping brake lights and then swerving left or right because there is debris in the road. Every day when you drive is an opportunity for you to grow. You don't stop growing and become a savvy driver just because you pass your test. That is very ignorant and very naive. Good drivers or savvy drivers don't speed. When you speed, you're showing that you're out of control. You show that you don't care about the speed limit, and you're getting closer to the line. The line is death, DEATH. Stay away from the line. Don't speed. When you're driving, you need to be identifying targets. The target could be 3 or 4 cars ahead of you. The target could be to the left. The target could be to the right. You have to stay focused on your goal. Your goal as a savvy driver is to not have an accident. Your goal as a savvy driver is to not make a mistake and end someone's life. That's called manslaughter. Your next goal as a savvy driver is to stop smoothly. You never want to slam or hit, HIT. You don't want to hit the brakes really hard because you'll slam brakes, people behind you are distracted, not paying attention, and they will rear end you and push you forward into another car. You have to give people time to see the brake light, time, TIME, to see the brake light up, to illuminate. Then our eye sees the information. Then it goes into our brain, and then our brain tells our neuromuscular system to push the brake. So if you just panic stop, you're going to get hit, and you're going to prematurely end your young driving career. So give people time to slow down and check your rear mirror. Every time you're driving, you need to be checking your rear mirror 10 to 15 seconds. Good drivers or savvy drivers do that. Next, check your mirrors regularly. You should be checking your center mirror to make sure it's squared. You should be checking your left mirror. You should be checking your right mirror. You always have to monitor your mirrors. This allows you to see what is going on. And occasionally you need to look over your right, RIGHT, and your left shoulder, LEFT, to see it's a car or truck hiding in your blind spot. Savvy drivers are defensive drivers. Next, you want to allow adequate following distance. If you want to consider yourself a savvy driver, you want to keep space. You want to pick a stationary object. It could be a mile marker sign, Once the car passes you, you count 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. It's a car length for every 10 miles an hour. Savvy drivers, young drivers who are fresh out of driver's education, remember what they learned when they're in their instructional period. Next, savvy drivers do not engage in dangerous maneuvers. This could be a cutoff really fast, where you're tailgating someone, you're not paying attention, and you almost rear end someone. This could be a chain reaction accident where multiple cars are hitting, and then we have a fatality where someone dies. Next, if you have to strike an object, you want to hit it at an angle, never head on. Head-on crashes are the most dangerous. You want to avoid those at all costs. You want to try to aim for something soft at an angle. Never have a head-on crash. HEADONCRASH. Avoid those at all costs. If you have to hit something, you want to hit something that's soft, a bush, never a tree. Next, when you're backing out, savvy drivers will look over their shoulder and put their left hand at the top, T-O-P, at the top of the steering wheel, and you look out your back window. You can't rely on a 5-inch, 7-inch, or 10-inch screen because little kids are lower than the bumper and you will run them over. So we have to be mindful of little kids because they don't understand the dangers of a car backing up. Savvy drivers have good hand placement. There is 10 and 2. There's 9 and 3. There's 7 and 5. AAA is an automotive authority in the United States. They recommend 7 and 5. We know there is an airbag in the middle of the steering wheel. And if you hold your steering wheel improperly, upon impact, the airbag will deploy by breaking your thumbs. We're not trying to break our thumbs. We're trying to control the car in a comfortable, stable way. So in the event of an evasive maneuver where you have to turn and drive really fast, you have that control. You're going to learn from your instructor, me. You're going to learn from your mother. You're going to learn from your father. You're going to learn from your cousins. You have to decide what method is good for you. At the end of the day, you want to have good control of your vehicle. That's the only thing that really matters. In the event of an accident, they're not going to say, how did you have your hands on the steering wheel? They're not going to ask that. They want to make sure, are you okay? Are you injured? Think about that for a second. Next, some people do the push-pull. That's the time and the place for the push-pull. If you're going around a curve, you just gradually turn the wheel. If you're doing parallel parking, it's more efficient to turn hand over hand, get the rear of the car into the right, and then turn back hand over hand. The proper method, if you really want to be a savvy driver, a young driver, you'll get the car in parallel, you'll check, you want to be within 12 inches of the curb. If your car's on the curb, you will receive a ticket. In many downtown areas, there are metered parking spots where you have to put money into a meter, and if you don't, you will receive a ticket. So there is no free F-R-E-E parking. You have to pay for your time, and if you don't, you will receive a ticket. Savvy drivers are prepared for those situations. As you're driving, your space cushion gets smaller because cars squeeze brakes. It gets bigger because cars speed up. Savvy drivers are always monitoring those conditions. Here's our car. When car speeds up, you maintain speed. When car slows down, you have to keep your space. If you don't keep your space, you will have a rear-end collision. Space, speed control, and smiles are some of the most important things that you have. If this is bringing you value and you're learning, give this a thumbs up. This will tell everyone that this is a positive program. Let's continue. Going around curves, you can lose control very easily because there is debris going into the curve and accelerating out. Usually, savvy drivers slow down before they go into the curve because centrifugal force will pull them to the outside edge and you will lose control. I don't want you to lose control. I want you to maintain great steering control. Proper signaling. Savvy drivers don't want to cause an accident. Selfish drivers will just turn and you could possibly get rear-ended. You want to turn your blinker 100 feet or a half a block. This allows our eyes to see the blinker, allows our brain to process it, and then those neural muscle signals tell our foot to push the brake. It takes microseconds. But if you don't give a driver a chance, you're going to get rear-ended, or they will rear-end you. Savvy drivers are not selfish drivers. They think about other drivers around them. I need to turn on my blinker early. There's a truck behind me. I do not want to get ran over, but also I don't want to cause an accident. Selfish drivers will just turn on the blinker one time and just turn, and then you get rear-ended. Merging on the expressway. It takes time. It takes experience. And through you listening to this, you're going to learn a lot. You want to accelerate properly. Expressways have a limited access ramp. There's a road that you take on. It's called an on ramp, R-A-M-P. This allows you to get on the expressway, accelerate 35, 45, 55, and emerge out properly. And you have to signal, check your mirror, and look over your shoulder. If you don't, you will cut off a car. Savvy drivers, young driver's ed drivers, do this with precision. It takes work to merge. And if you're not working to merge properly, you will always fear merging. Getting off the expressway, there's something called an exit, E-X-I-T, ramp, R-A-M-P. This ramp is to the right. In some cases, it is to the left. This ramp is designed to get you over to the right or left. There's a long lane. It's called the de-acceleration lane. This is where you squeeze your brakes. And then by the time you get into the cloverleaf or the curve, you have enough speed control that centrifugal force doesn't literally pull your car off. If you go too fast, excuse me, you will roll your car. Your car will roll over. You will go into the ditch. In the wintertime, those ramps freeze. There's something called black, B-L-A-C-K, ice, I-C-E. You have to be mindful of this and control your speed. Savvy drivers will reduce their speed 25, 27, 30. And as you go around the ramp, you'll have gradual control. And if you were with me, I would be looking up the ramp. A lot of beginners are looking straight and the car is going up and to the right. We're going to crash. Slow your speed down. You want to identify gaps properly. A savvy driver will accelerate, lift their foot, wait for a gap or space to be created, and then they accelerate through that gap and pick up speed. If you are hesitant, you will actually put yourself and the group of drivers in danger. You have to prepare to merge out properly. You've got to pick up your speed 45, 55, 67. You got to get up to speed stabilize your speed, and then match your distance and speed with the flow of the traffic. The flow could be going 62. The flow could be going 65. The flow could be going 70. Savvy drivers merge out smoothly, properly, blinker, mirror, turn signal, blind spot, and it's smooth. Hesitant drivers have anxiety, have fear. You have to do your head check. Head check is where you look over your shoulder, and it's a quick glance. If you look too long and turn the wheel, the car will veer out of the lane. Savvy drivers do their research. You're taking the time to listen to me because I'm a savvy instructor. I'm going to go live every day at 12 o'clock. I'm going to give you value, and I'm going to educate you on the things you need to do as a savvy driver to be successful. When you're success, that savviness will get you a job. That savviness will show your parents, your caregivers, you are mature. I also have some opportunities for you. I'm going to be starting a master's driver's education class for members. If you feel you're a good match to my program and you're a good match for me, I need you to subscribe. We're going to be starting memberships soon. And I need you to give this broadcast a thumbs up. Savvy drivers are defensive drivers. You learn how to drive. You learn how to be a defensive driver. And then over your driving career, from 14, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and so on, you will learn. You have to be considerate of other drivers. It's called a highway transportation system. We share, we grow, we engage. That's how you learn to be your best authentic self. No one is going to do this for you except for you. You will have to drive in bumper-to-bumper traffic sometimes. You will have to drive in rain, R-A-I-N. You will have to learn how to drive in fog, F-O-G. You have to learn how to drive in snow, S-N-O-W. You will have to learn how to drive at night, N-I-G-H-T. It takes work. It takes you growing and learning each of those driving elements. Your parents have to support you. And if your mom and dad are not going to support you, it's going to take you longer, 21, 27, 35, to learn. In the United States, you do need a car to travel independently. Your mom and dad will help you, but they're living their life. Your mom and dad are in their 30s and 40s. You have to help yourself become independent. A savvy driver will set up themselves to be an independent driver. I am a savvy instructor. I'm always talking about independence, freedom, growing. You have to grow in order to be your best authentic self. If you enjoyed this, I have a podcast. It's called Driving with Myles. It's on Spotify. I would love for you to listen to it, and I'll be putting together that driver's education master's class very soon, and we'll start rolling out memberships. I want to say thank you. I need you to work hard to become a savvy driver. Have an open mind. Learn all you can. Be in the slow lane. Be in the middle lane. Be in the fast lane. Learn each of those environmental driving things. Bye.